some of the features to get you ready to do this assignment. So the assignment for today, some of the features you are going to need. This tag here, the doc type tag, the very first tag in your document, you're going to need that. You're going to need matching HTML tags, otherwise it's not going to be recognized as an HTML document. So there's going to be an HTML tag at the end as well. This document here, you're going to have a document which is index.html. Make sure you save it with that name exactly, index.html. That's a very significant name. Yeah, that would be right. Index.html is very significant. If you have a file with that name and your browser is directed to the folder in that file, it will automatically open in the browser index.html. So you don't even need to say index when you in your redirection with your URL. All you have to do is point to the folder and it will open up that for you. So, let's not call it home. Let's not call it my site or anything like that. It's just index. And then when somebody is directed to the folder, that's what they open. So it's you got to get used to running your websites like that. So we've got index.html. What you'll notice in there is we've got the main part of the file is going to be broken down into two parts. A head, where we're going to have a meta tag. That's kind of, I mean, to be honest, these two things in the head are not, you could get away with this website without it, but it's a really good idea to have a title. So what does the title do? The title is going to show up when I run this in the browser, the title is going to show up in those tabs at the top. So the title's quite important. The meta tag for the character set, you could probably get away with that without that because it would just pick up the default. But if you were trying to do something where you're coding in Arabic or Urdu or some other different script language, Chinese, then you would need to specify the character set because it wouldn't take the default character set. The body, so notice there's two head tags, an opening and a closing. There's an opening and a closing body tag. And then inside that, we've got some other things. We've got a footer. Now notice this, in your assignment that you're doing for today, you're going to need to use these special codes, right? You see the ampersand copy? What that's going to do is when it's going to present a copyright symbol, right? And the ampersand 160, not sure what that is. Well, we can see by, let's look. If I open this using a browser, let's have a look at what those things are. So down the bottom, we've got some, okay, sorry, this is in the way. So yeah, it looks like it gives us this in italics, these words, right? So there's our copyright symbol and there's our other ones there. So back to the Sublime Text. I hope I can open that. What else do we need to look at? So those things are all kind of nice there. Yeah, it looks like the ampersand hash 160 was I think that was just sort of spacing those things out. You could Google that and find out exactly what they're doing. We've got a section which is separated from the rest of the page there, and it's got a highlighted heading. So there's 6 different headings that you can use. You guys told me that you've already done Web 1, so everything I'm telling you, you already know I'm done. So I don't need to spend a lot of time on it. You probably want to spend more time just doing the exercise, right? So your image tag, I hope you're familiar with that. Do you notice the image tag is including in the source, it's including the folder name. So that needs to be this. So that means that there's a file called thaifood.png in there. Now you've got a starter. So you don't have to find the image files that you're going to create. That starter is given to you. It's not this website, by the way. So it's a little different one. Also, probably you're going to have the text given to you as well. What do we got here? You may want to, what we've done here is we've put our navigation into a list. We've got an unordered list for our navigation. And so how does that present if I go up there? that's our navigation is this thing here. It's in an unordered list. And yeah, so the navigation, you can tell it by its hrefs, A tags. So I've got an A tag there with the href inside the A tag. So you're going to have something like that. And then each of those is, do you see that the home just points back to itself? Then the others are all found in the HTML folder. So if we look in the HTML folder, it's got those other files there. Notice they've all been saved with the HTML extension. Now I've set this so that they will open with sublime.txt, so it's easier for me to just for this exercise, but normally they would open in a browser. I hope you notice that there's a lot of similarities, right? The about looks a lot like the index. So what I usually do if I'm doing a website like this is I'll create the index and then I'll save it and rename it as these other things so that I don't have to. And so things that you'd have to change, you notice some of the things you won't have to change, like your navigation. You will have to change that a little bit. This bit here, which just means go back to the root, ... Before I try and find the index, I acknowledge the fact that I'm in a different folder, so I have to go back to the root. And notice that the navigation for these other things is missing the HTML folder bit. Why? Because these files are all in the folder, so you don't need to navigate back to the folder. So the navigation will be slightly different. Hopefully you can remember that from last semester. And yeah, the rest of it's pretty much the same. Let's look at the locations. Sorry, Bushra, your voice is not. Is this going to be in the video? Am I recording? Is that what you're asking? I am recording. Did I upload this? I uploaded a starter for you, but your exercise is different than this. This is an example. So I'm not showing you how to do the lab. I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. Does it look like it's the same? They're all kind of similar. The way that we access the images is a little different also, because we have to go back to the root and then go to the images. So it's a little trick that you have to remember there. So this is an example. This is not the exercise that you're doing. You've got a different exercise, which I've given to you. And so you've got a starter with all of that. And basically, that's about it. I'm going to let you get started on that. What I was showing you here is the general look and feel of what you're going to do. Is going to be kind of like this with a bunch of folders and a bunch of, so you're going to have a folder for your HTML, a folder for your images. You'll be given a bunch of images that's in the starter pack. And so put them into a folder like that, and then have an index in the root folder all by itself. And in the index, you're going to have a navigation which points to these others. Do you notice the difference in the navigation from the index? So from the index, we had to specifically say the folder to go to the HTML to find these things. Whereas when we are looking at the navigation in any of those, we didn't need to specify HTML because these files are actually located in the HTML. Anyways, I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'm going to pause recording.